All right, for this video, I'm going to go over a couple questions here. It's going to be a 35 and 36. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about 35 first. Now, for question 35, so the first thing that we have to take care of is that we have an exponent that is a fraction, and that's a negative fraction. And everything has its own meaning. And so right at this moment, ask yourself, do you know the meaning of a negative exponent? Do you know the meaning of the numerator if the exponent is a fraction? Do you know the meaning of the denominator of the fraction in the exponent? Okay, so you gotta understand all these things before we start. If not, things are going to be ugly, pretty ugly. Okay, the first thing is negative exponent. It means reciprocal. Okay, so we're going to have 1 over 64 to the 5/3 power. Okay, let me go ahead and make the writing a little bit thinner. Okay, you can see better. Okay, so right here, so 5/3. Okay, and then what about the numerator? The numerator, it's about the power. The denominator, it's about the root. Now, since we have a big number, 64 right here, we are not going to take care of the power first, because I have no idea what the power of what 64 to the 5th power is. It's going to be a big number, which I'm not interested in knowing at this point with our calculator. But I can do the root. What is the root? And now this is the part you have to do. I strongly encourage you to do two things together at the same time. And that is, just go ahead and ask yourself, what is the cube root of 64? Okay, so in your mind, with the mental math part, you ask yourself, what is the cube root of 64? That will be a 4. And then don't stop right there. Right after you get a 4, then you ask yourself, what is the 5th power of 4? Ooh, that's going to be a bit challenging because I know 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 4 to the 5th power. I know that this is 64. What is 64 times 4? That will be a 256. Okay, and then 256 times 4, that would be 1024. Okay, now how can I do this a lot faster? Think about this. Think about 250 times 4, and then 6 times 4. Okay, 250 times 4 is a lot easier because that's just 1,000. 6 times 4 is also very easy. It's 24, so 1024. So that's how you do it. Okay. Now, some common mistakes that we have seen so far is that when people look at the negative exponents, they make the number negative. It never happens. Okay, it never happens. Okay, and then for number 36. Okay, for number 36, you have a negative number right here. So cool. Again, we have a negative exponent, means that we have to do the reciprocal. So let's go ahead and take care of this first. I always like to take care of the negative exponents because it's just, pain. All right, and then now, again, we're interpreting the fraction. And we always do the root first. What is the 5th root of? What's the 5th root of negative 32? And that will be negative 2. Okay, negative 2 times itself 5 times is negative 32. And then you will go ahead and raise it to the 4th power, which will be number 16. Now, make sure that it is a 16 in the denominator. So it's 1 over 16. Okay, not just 16, it's 1 over 16. So make sure your eyes are pretty, you are including a larger scope to make sure that you are including all the values as you are doing things. If it's a reciprocal, then make sure that it retains the 1 over, or it remains a reciprocal as you move on to the following steps.